Hello, most amazing ones. Today I'm going to do a reading for all of my starseeds that are out there. And that is because I have been feeling very called and very drawn to doing this reading, particularly for the starseeds. I plan on doing a reading for each type of highly sensitive spiritual being, but this starseed one has been calling. And I did a meditation right before going into this reading, and I think I understand why there's going to be some of you out there that need this reading, because it's pretty intense. There's the stars. If you don't know, starseeds are incarnated souls who have come here to, help with the earth, help with the ascension, all of that kind of stuff. And they're souls that spend a lot of time on other planets and stuff that have already been through an ascension. So they've chosen to come here to, help with what we're going through right now. And one of the things about starseeds is that they are probably, of all the types of highly sensitive spiritual beings, they're probably the ones that feel the most out of place most often. They also, feeling grounded is often a struggle for starseeds, because they're the ones, like all highly sensitive spiritual beings might have that sense of, I want to go home. I don't necessarily fit in here. I'm ready to go home. This isn't my home. But starseeds are the ones that feel that the most intensely. And right now, in the state of our world, like I said before, we're going through a lot. And a lot of starseeds are just waking up or haven't really woken up yet to their purpose and to what is going on. And this is what I got in the meditation, is that there are a lot of starseeds just feeling like, why am I here right now? Why does it have to be now? Like, there's so much going on, be it what's happening in the world or what you're observing, what you're going through personally, or how everything is playing out for you personally. There's just this overwhelming question going on right now of why now? Why me? Why, even if you know that you're a starseed and you know that you have that purpose and you have waken up to that, you're still kind of questioning, why is this happening right now? And the thing that I got through the meditation is that feeling is really intense right now for you. So like the angels and your guides and stuff have guided you to this reading to help answer that question. So we do know, if you've been on this journey for a while, and some of you might just be waking up and come across this reading, and the messages might answer some of those questions, but most of us know that there is a higher purpose to help with the ascension, to help with other people, that our souls would choose to come here for, in order to learn and to grow on a personal level, but also, to help with the ascension, because many other planets and starseeds have been through it before in other incarnations, and so they're able to be in a unique position to help. But it's really interesting, actually, the other day, after I'd gotten the message I should do a reading for starseeds too, I came across this video by Dolores and she was saying that most of the starseeds regret their choice to come here, because they are such high vibrational beings, of love and of light, and they're used to being in a much higher vibrational place, and they chose to come here, and it's what they want to do in their heart of hearts. But once actually getting here, this thick, dense, physical reality of the earth is just so much more than, they kind of bargained for. So a lot of starseeds end up sort their souls, you know, kind of regretting the choice to come here. So of all the highly sensitive spiritual beings, I do often get the message that starseeds are the ones that kind of have it the heaviest, tend to have it the hardest. They're the ones that feel the least at home here, and the ones that feel like they want to go home. A lot of not fitting in. This world wasn't built for starseeds, right? It wasn't built for somebody who's already learned and grown and ascended so much in their soul to be here. But there's such amazing, beautiful, wonderful, loving souls that they choose to do it anyway, knowing that it was going to be difficult. So here you are. That is why you're here. But is that enough right now with whatever it is that you're feeling or experiencing or going through? And that's what I picked up in the meditation, is that this reading is for you, if that's how you're feeling at all, beyond just the basics. So this is for all my starseeds. I didn't say, but I was actually lighting this for you. This is Palo Santo. So it's a very sacred wood to clear out any kind of negative energy, bring in the positive, just in honor of you and your light and all that you do. You're doing a wonderful job. And, you know, it's not easy. The angels, your guides, they all know it's not easy, but it's appreciated. So let's see what these cards have to say for you. I've been looking forward to doing this for a couple of days. So thank you, angels. Thank you, guides, for allowing us to see, know, hear, and understand what it is we need to know on this sacred, divinely guided path that we are on. Alright, and I think I showed you that I am using the Starseed Oracle. It's really hard to tell if that light is just too bright. Yeah, that looks good. We're using the Starseed Oracle because Starseeds. I actually planned to do a reading like this for, we did the Indigos last time, and do one for Earth Angels, one for Lightworkers in general. And then I am also going to do the next Angel Whispers reading, where I draw the daily cards. I'll use these as well, so that'll be a full week of these Starseed cards to help support you on your journey. And this reading can go for anyone, whether you know or think, or maybe you don't feel as though you are a starseed. It can still resonate with you and provide some of those answers, especially if you are feeling the weight of the world right now, and a sense of unfairness, a sense of injustice at all, and you're just kind of wondering, why now? Why do I have to be here now during this difficult phase? Okay. So I don't have a plan for a spread or anything. I am just gonna let the cards deal what they're gonna do. We are going completely by feel here. Alright. So I got 3 cards. Okay, yeah, so there's definitely some of you right now. This is the Blue Flame. And then what came out next was the 7 Sisters. And that's those birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. And we have Lost Lands. So this one says soul, memories, and gifts. You've done this before. Okay, yeah. So this definitely there's some of you that are just coming to learn what a starseed even is, or what highly sensitive spiritual being is. Perhaps you've spent a lot of your life depressed, anxious, probably having a neurodivergence that very likely wasn't diagnosed, trauma, dysfunctional families in your past, a lot of struggle and overcoming, and with a lot of that just feeling like you don't fit in. As a matter of fact, a lot of starseeds will have either diagnosed or undiagnosed autism, which just kind of contributes to that sense of not really fitting into this world, and very good at masking and hiding that true self that you are, that feels like it doesn't fit into this world that wasn't necessarily built for you, right? So there's definitely some of you that are just now exploring that idea that this might be what's going on with you. And it's feeling really heavy. There's just a lot of stuff that's coming into your awareness that you're starting to think about that may be absolutely brand new information, and it's overwhelming right now. So that is, the angels are just really saying and wanting you to know that what you feel is kind of normal for what you're going through. So it feels heavy. It feels kind of scary. It feels like, what it feels like is more than you can handle. You feel like you've somehow been placed like kind of a burden, so to speak, on you, and you don't know what to do with it. And you're feeling very concerned. And you're feeling very concerned and a little overwhelmed and even scared by that. But those feelings are normal feelings to have. You're being activated. The reason that you're here, you're hearing this calling and you're being guided in this direction is because you're being activated, you're being called. And so that's a lot of just what you're feeling. It's an overwhelming feeling. It's a misconception out there that spiritual awakenings and evolution are simple and kind of easy and all, clouds and angels and floating and, crystals and good, happy, high vibrational feelings. That's not really the case. As a highly sensitive spiritual being with a higher mission and a cause, you're being called for something so much bigger than that. And the weight of that is pretty heavy. So when we're first waking up and first being activated and called, that weight is heavy and it feels dark. It feels lonely. Lots of aspects of your life start to fall away, and it can feel scary. It can feel like things are going in the wrong direction when they're actually going in the right direction. So hang in there and know that you're not alone, and that what you're feeling and that heaviness and that weight of what you're feeling is the process of it's true. You're doubting it, that you might be somebody special. You've been told a lot that you're not somebody special, that there's a lot of things are wrong with you. So most of your life you've been told that you need to change, you need to do things differently. Maybe things like you're too sensitive, or you're not understanding, or you have to look people in the eye when you're talking to them, or it's rude, you have to act a certain way, and you've really learned and adapted to that. You've had to just go through your life learning how to create these masks in order to fit in to this world and to be accepted. And you've been told so many times that you need to act this way, or you need to be like this, or something you do is weird, or you're too sensitive, or you just need to be stronger. You've been told this so much throughout your life that you've taken on that role as part of your identity. And so what's happening as you're being called to serve your purpose is those masks and kind of like, I'm picturing more like a coat, like a jacket or a coat. You've been wearing that around you, and spirit is coming along and kind of taking it off, making you take it off, and it's coming off layer by layer, and underneath those layers is just you, and it's a beautiful and it's a wonderful thing, and that's what needs to be there. But you're not used to not having all those heavy layers that you've been carrying, and so it feels actually paradoxically in that example, things are feeling heavier because it's actually getting lighter. In that example, like these layers are just falling away and you don't know what to do with it because you've possibly never even actually met your true self fully, because perhaps that side of you hasn't ever been able to fully come out and be free to be who you are. But that is what this is about. It is time to find that person inside, the light being that you are, and your heart and your true nature. It's time to let that come out and get to know yourself, and integrating lots of those broken, fragmented pieces of yourself that, those different ages you were, different inner children, I guess, within you, those different parts of yourself that have kind of split to deal with these different situations. It's time to integrate all of that to become who you are, and to become who you are, and start more understanding that your purpose is actually greater than all of this, than what you've been told. You're very important. You're very amazing, wonderful being that's come here to do good. And the world has stunted your ability. Being just that it's a physical world makes it hard enough as it is. But then the way you've been treated, or what you've experienced in this life, has actually held you back even more from knowing who you actually are. So you just really going forward, the angels are saying, it's not easy. This is not an easy path for you to be on. You're here without the memories of any of this kind of stuff, and you have to find your way and your path on your own. And that's what helps you be as amazing, reach your potential and be as amazing as you're meant to be. And it's not an easy thing, which is why they're guiding you to places like this, bringing you to like messages and readings such as this to give you the support that you need to help you get through it, because it's not really easy. But one of the main things I am definitely picking up on to help you through this is there's something that is part of your heart, your passion, your natural kind of abilities and talents, a dream perhaps you had as a child. It's starting to come to the surface, or you're just starting to remember it. And this goes for the Starseeds that, our seasoned Starseeds and know what's going on, and it's just feeling a little heavy right now. And also for those who are just now being called and awakening. But they're saying, like, look to that side of yourself. Look to something that's been forgotten or suppressed or buried in your life that was once a dream. And that is going to help you kind of put a lot of the pieces together and answer a lot of the questions that you have, and ease some of that struggle. So, like, you probably know what I mean, but I'm saying, like, maybe if you were a kid, you wanted to be a writer or an actor, or, you wanted to work with animals and not in some corporate building type of thing. Like, pay attention to those memories and those desires. I am currently working on a video about vibrations and how vibrations work, and you know what goes into the shadow. Not just all bad stuff goes in the shadow, sometimes it's good stuff. So that video could actually be a little bit helpful to you too. But pay attention to what comes up, pay attention to memories that come up and that feels natural and aligned with you, and pursue that. Pursue it. If you feel called to leave, you know, like a corporate job and move into something more heart and soul aligned, that is something you're being encouraged to do. You know, I'm not telling you to just go quit your job one day and put yourself in a bad situation, but take steps and start moving in that direction. You know, don't doubt that that's something that you can eventually get to. Think about it. Let it come into your awareness. Think about it and figure out steps to start taking in that direction that will work for you, obviously. And there's this last card that came up, you know, the Lost Lands. That's interesting. So this card is saying that you've done this before. There's some of the memories. Oh yeah, okay. Some of those memories that are coming up that I was just talking about, that the angels are saying don't ignore them, don't resist them, don't you know, just don't discount them, because they are information that's telling you something that you need to know. Be memories coming out of your shadow, or just random memories, or you know, you're watching a TV show and something reminds you of something. Those are important. But some of those memories may not all be from this lifetime. You might start, once you start opening yourself up to those memories and stop closing them off because they're not what you're supposed to be, but you're starting to take off those coats, you're starting to take off those masks and opening yourself up to the potentials and possibilities, right? Some memories from past lives too, you know, incarnations on what planet you may have spent the most time on in soul form that you already know. Because remember, like I said at the beginning of this reading, that Starseed usually, or at least what's known or thought, is that they have come from planets that have already gone through what the Earth is going through now, and they've come to help with it. So some of those memories from past lives are extremely beyond valuable right now for the Earth. Not just for you, obviously for you, to help you understand this weight that you're carrying and why things might be difficult. It is there for you, but that's also how you help, right? You're waking up to these memories, and that's also probably going to contribute to some of that weight that you're feeling and some of that confusion, because you're having a mix of types of memories coming to you, and they don't all completely make sense. So I'm feeling like definitely focus on grounding, stay grounded. One thing I picked up actually when I was doing the meditation, and I'm hearing it now as well, is that Starseeds did not struggle with feeling and being grounded. Part of that comes from the resistance of being on this planet. There's that instinctual like desire within your soul that kind of wants to go home, because this mission is a bit more than maybe what you expected or bargained for. Even if you've done it more than one time, you know, I don't know, it could get harder each time, but your soul is just feeling the weight of it right now, and these memories are coming in, and you just kind of feel that urge or that desire to go home and connect with your own planet, which kind of adds to not feeling grounded here on the earth, because one of the best ways to feel grounded is through your connection with the earth, through that physical connection, right? And there's a bit of resistance that goes on for a lot of starseeds. I don't want to connect with that planet. I don't want to. I want to go home and connect with my own planet. That type of feeling. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. So be aware of that. If you have struggle with feeling grounded or with any kind of grounding activities, just be aware of that it's not you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's, you're not some kind of weirdo that can't feel grounded. But whatever you might possibly feel, it's actually just part of your spiritual nature. I'm going to do one more card because I am just feeling like there might be one more something else. I just feel like there's something else that these cards might help us uncover about all of this. The thing about it too is definitely before I decided to do this reading, okay. Yeah, before I decided to do this reading, I was just feeling like it's really intense. What you're feeling is really intense. It's not a simple, easy feeling. It's having you deal with anxiety and like depression and the lack of feeling grounded, or even the lack of wanting to feel grounded on this planet. It is it's all just really contributing to these very intense and heavy emotions that you're having. A lot of what the angels want you to know is you're looking inward for answers to what is going on and what's causing these types of feelings. Is that don't blame yourself. You're not entirely to blame. There's nothing wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong. You're just a very unique, special being that's here for a higher purpose. That isn't quite clear because we're not taught about that purpose on this earth. We're really taught actually the opposite, to ignore those feelings and that calling. So just be aware of that. And this card that came out, this card is the Great Serving. And on it, it says Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So just as some of the answers for how to kind of cope and deal with things and to feel better as a highly sensitive spiritual being, the same thing came up in the Indigo reading. The Indigo Child reading is that look to love for when things are too heavy, when things feel difficult, when you feel overwhelmed by like even the state of the world or by what you're personally experiencing in your own space. Turn to love. Soften a lot of that hardness and that weight that you feel by turning your attention and your focus to love. You are a being of love and a being of light, so it's actually going to be quite natural for you. And as Starseeds, maybe a bit easier and more natural to focus on that love than it is to feel grounded. And some of you have been resisting that love. You're afraid of that love. You've put up barriers and walls that have blocked love entirely from you, and not just in the sense that you're afraid to let love in or that you don't think that you're lovable or anybody could love you, but also in the sense of you're afraid to give love, too much love, because maybe you were told some in that past, you were told that, that you're giving too much. You're too nice. You're giving too much of yourself. You're a pushover. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to be more bold. That kind of stuff. You were really told that a lot. Maybe you were bullied as a kid. So you had to learn how to be tough. And actually, a lot of what you were bullied for was being too nice. Maybe you took care of even animals or bugs. Like the type to have a jar of ladybugs or roly-polies, or no, you were the one to, the other kids had those insects, ladybugs, roly-polies, whatever. The other kids had them in a jar, and you got upset about it because you somehow just instinctively knew that those creatures needed to be out in their natural habitat and not in a jar with a wet cotton ball. That wasn't good for them, you know. But you got a bit ridiculed and teased about that. So you actually learned to not just block love from coming in out of fear of being hurt, but you felt like you're not allowed to give the love that you have. So you've had to hold that back, and that's been difficult for you. But yeah, the angels are saying all of this anger and conflict and all of the stuff that's going on in the world that is really stressing you out right now. The answer to that is your love and opening your heart to that. And you can do that, and it's safe to do that. And it's actually, you know, that's part of letting yourself be exposed and getting to know your true self and opening that lock that has been on your heart, opening it up again. Not necessarily easy once again, but you can do this. You're not alone. There's other highly sensitive spiritual beings out there that fully support you. I fully support you. Angels support you. Your guides support you. Once you're more open to this and know what's going on and allowing it in and resonating, you know, with that love and of who you are, you're gonna attract more people who are understanding of you and who you are, other starseeds who can support you on this journey and understand you and make you feel more connected. So it is okay to open your heart. It's safe to open your heart. You know, take baby steps if you need to. That is fine. But know that you're not alone. And know that you are deeply, deeply appreciated for being here, for going through what you go through and doing what you do. And I send you a ton of love and gratitude in advance for the work that you will continue to do after seeing this message. It's going to be a lot. I just sense it. I can just feel it. You're opening up, and it's going to be a lot. Not necessarily easy, but it's going to be worth it. And you're going to help a lot of people. You're really going to help this planet to be in a better place. And that's pretty freaking amazing. Just remember how amazing you are. And as always, I am sending a ton of love and blessings to you all. Little Annie here, trying to chew up all the cards as we're talking. Also send you love and gratitude. Thank you so much for, you know, being here. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being you and allowing yourself to open up and be exposed. And so that you can do what you're here to do. It is appreciated. You are very much loved. And, you know, we got this. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much for, you know, allowing me to be a part of this journey with you. Mwah.